Very good evening. Half of your day is completed. I know that you must be tired now. Is it not? Are you guys tired or feeling fresh? Fresh itself? Great. Before starting, which I always do in my introductory classes, tear a sheet of paper, or if you have a sheet of paper, take it out. That's why I asked you whether you are fresh or not. If you are not active now, it will be very difficult for me to carry forward. Online students, you can also do it. I won't be observing you guys. It will be very difficult to check online students whether they are doing it or not. Right. Fold this paper into 3 halves from top to bottom. It means you should make 3 rows, not 3 columns. Right? And the first half, write expectations. Expectations. Please do, quick, come on. Now from your side itself, write 3 to 4 points. What is it that you are expecting from this class? It will help you itself. Don't worry. Please write. Now can anyone raise their voice and say what is that you are expecting? Anyone of. I would like to take 2 shares or 3 shares. Okay. What is the weightage of science and technology in UPSC? Sources to study. Anything else?
And current affairs.
Current affairs. How to study current affairs. Anything else that you want to ask? You don't want to ask how to prepare science and tech? You know, so if I tell you the sources and current affairs maxes, that is done. You don't want to know how to write an answer. Don't you want to know how to approach a prelims question? So these are several expectations that you'll have almost in every class, not just science and tech. Having said that, science and tech, I wouldn't say that it is not an easy thing, but it's not difficult too. But there is a difference in the way UPSC approaches science and tech area than other competitive exams. If you understand that difference, UPSC will be easier. You will know which topics to study, which topic you need to avoid. These are the things that you need to take care of yourself. How will you take care of these things by yourself? First point, syllabus. You need to have the thorough understanding of what UPSC syllabus with regard to science and tech is about. Anything else? Previous year's questions. Only one person is answering, come on. Previous year's questions, certainly. It will help you a lot to understand which topics you need to cover in your current affairs. We'll ensure that we'll cover all of these things. But before that, we need to have a small introductory lecture. That is what the agenda for today's class is. We'll clear out certain basic doubts that we'll have. We'll observe some of the questions that are coming in recent times. Thereby, we'll decode the syllabus and the areas that we need to study. Adding to this, the major difference with other competitive exams lies with that is that the general science topics are not widely asked in UPSC as such. The weightage is less, but it's not to be neglected as such. Why is it I'm saying this is because, so there are 2 segments in our science and tech syllabus. One segment is for prelims, another segment is for mains. But as every other subject that you prepare, it's not that we'll be separately preparing for prelims and mains, right? Prelims, the syllabus is just general science. General science means what will you observe, like 10th class physics, chemistry, biology. These are the areas that will come into your mind. But looking at the previous year's questions, the areas related to general science, the questions were asked little less. For instance, like why does water has more ability to dissolve many things? It was a recent question. An year back? No, haven't you observed previous year's questions? Okay. This is general science topic. Or else this year there was a question related to T cells and B cells. These are general science. These are basics related kind of questions that will be coming. But the weightage is never. It's not that you should be neglected, but the weightage is somewhat 2 to 3 questions, mostly in prelims. Even then, the areas in prelims are coming from the main syllabus part itself. Prelims syllabus, you can take cue from the main syllabus and then prepare, because it's open-ended general science. There are no specificities that are mentioned that these are the areas where we will be asking question, right? Even if government policies comes related to science and tech, it is science and tech question, no? So the syllabus will be coming from your main syllabus. If you look at the questions that were asked, you will understand why I am saying these things. So now tell me, read out can anyone read out the main syllabus first point? So majorly, many of the questions, even in prelims and mains, are mostly asked with related to applications, Whatever the developments that are happening, that development, what kind of applications that development has. For example, take an old example if possible, or else take an example from science and technology. We have this GSLV Mark III launch vehicle, right? That is a development. What is the significance and application of this GSLV Mark III? What do you think the significance of this technology is? Okay, that is what the application part you are talking of. So it is useful for future manned missions that India is planning up, or extra planetary observatory missions India can plan through this GSLV Mark III. But significance aspect, indigenous vehicle, indigenous cryogenic engine, right? These are the significant aspects. It will reduce the cost of our space explorations. We are able to export as a business, like launching the satellites of other countries. In fact, indigenization of space industry is happening. Again, when you talk of indigenization, it's completely something related to bringing out innovations in India, completely related to GS paper 3 as such, focusing on economy of India, making ourselves self-reliant, Atmanirbhar Bharat, right? So most of the areas are interconnected also here. But technology wise, though it is purely related to physics or science, or what is the physics involved here, right? General science, Newton's third law is involved here. So do you want me to teach this general science also, like this is how it happens, rocket is launched this way, make a demonstration here? That is not UPSC class, that is not how the UPSC classes would look like. We are not focusing purely on what the subject matter of the application is all about. We need to have the general awareness of what these things are relevant for. You are not asked to go there to the ISRO, watch GSLV, note down each and every parts in it. No, not required. Now go to the second. Can anyone read? Achievements of Indians in science. Last year there was a question. What is the contribution of Mukshagundam Visvesvaraya? Nobody has expected that question, but it is still there in the syllabus. Having said that, can you expect something in a class that every scientist's contribution into India is taught? For example, in your history syllabus, there is a syllabus clearly mentioned that contribution of Indian freedom struggles, freedom fighters as such. But it is taught about their contribution through their story. Same thing here also it will happen. When I teach you about Satyendra Bose, the application part comes in with when the concept called Higgs boson concept comes, and it is related to space research, astronomy, those areas. Okay, it comes within the contextual context of the syllabus. We'll be able to cover these Indians as such. But nevertheless, whenever a topic comes in your newspaper, for example, with regard to Mahalanobis, there was an article few months back, how he improved the data collection or statistics in India. Thereby, he can be considered a scientist there, mathematician. Is it not that it will be asked in UPSC? Similar to science and tech field itself, they'll be asking. And it is somewhere related to economics. There is more chance that he'll be asked in GS paper 3 or even in prelims. These are certain observations that you need to make on daily basis. Here the class will help you to understand certain concepts and give you certain clarity on those concepts. For example, stem cell therapy, it's quite often in news. But what do you understand by stem cells? Can anyone answer this? That is where my part would be, to help you clarify those small nitty-gritties that are necessary for you to understand and the topics that are coming in newspaper. What do you mean by gene therapy? There is a recent development that took place related to gene therapy. US Food and Drug Administrative Authority has given an approval for treatment towards acute leukemia through gene therapy. But question won't be that way. They'll ask you to tell what do you understand by gene therapy, what is the process involved there, and what are the applications. In this application part, there is this example that is there in news. So there is mix of conceptual understanding and also the application part that they are asking. Application part always comes through your current affairs. Having said that, even then when you talk of biotechnology has applications in various fields, not just in areas of healthcare or medicine. We are having its application in energy sector right now, right? We are talking of biofuels. It is something related to biotechnology only. And then we have this in a field of agriculture, GM crops, tissue culture, cloning of animals in the field of animal husbandry. Right? Specifically also they are asking nowadays questions in the fact that what are the applications of biotechnology in agriculture sector? Not overall picture, but only specific to agriculture sector they will be asking questions. And all the areas where biotechnology can be applied for agriculture sector should be given by you in the answers. And you need to fill 1.5 page with specific question. If I tell you what is the application of biotechnology, you will write in agriculture, this is the application. In medicine, this is the application. In space technology, this is the application, space area in research. But specifically within that answer, they are asking a specific question. And you need to fill your answer. And people are ready, aspirants are ready with the answer to write those specific questions too. So it is my agenda in these classes that you make yourself, to make you prepared for those things. So next, to the third point, I touched upon indigenization anyway, right, with the previous section itself. Third one, awareness in fields of IT, space, computers, robotics, nanotechnology, biotechnology, intellectual property rights. These are specific areas again. These are not part of general science. But these areas are built on general science. There is one question, we'll come to the questions, then you'll understand these things a little bit in a better manner. Wasn't there a question related to Web 3.0 in this year prelims? In prelims there was a question, right? Though it was not taught in the science and tech class, in my lecture, when I was taking current affairs, the topic was discussed right in the month of March itself. Some of the areas are not possible for us to cover in science and tech because science and tech, the topic was in news in the month of March, the lecture has already been completed by them. So that is why it's not possible for me to cover the areas which are coming later to these classes. You need to get updated by yourself. In which area this particular news article is being covered. If you are able to connect that dot, you'll be able to remember what is there in news. So tell me, what is the significance of Web 3.0? By now you must have known at least. Should I expect it or not? No. What is it? Okay. What is Web 2.0? We are using internet, no? It is based on blockchain technology, right? One segment is right. See, again, we are not talking of what is it, again, going into that Web 3.0, what is the algorithm within it, what kind of coding that goes into it. No. It is based on blockchain technology. The only major significance that you'll understand is there will be no middlemen between the consumer and the seller. For example, there won't be Amazon or Flipkart that will be existing. You know how much of these e-commerce platforms are earning as a revenues, right? What will happen in Web 3.0 is that there won't be any these kind of web services that are coming in between. You'll be directly connected to the seller and you'll be buying the product. Right now it is in conceptual phase. That is why Jeff Bezos is objecting this Web 3.0 version. So these are new areas, and again, when you come to robotics, it is being aligned with artificial intelligence. We cannot separately look at robotics and artificial intelligence nowadays in a different manner. They are almost interrelated. Having said that, artificial intelligence has its different segment of operations, but now we are integrating this. So when we talk of robotics, we'll also talk of artificial intelligence. That will give you more understanding on how to connect suppose an essay comes, there is already an essay asked. In 2019, an essay asked specifically related to artificial intelligence. If you go back, visit your previous year's questions papers. This is a syllabus, that is fine. But how you can make use of science and tech in other areas of a GS paper? There is always a merit and a demerit for any kind of development that is taking place. Especially in the fields, in the paper ethics, you can apply it very well. For example, we are using mobile phones. How is it impacting our family as a system, society as a collective? How is it impacting? It is somewhere related to GS paper 1 as well as your ethics paper. So don't sit in your class and just be in a system that you're only dealing with science and tech. Always think of the other areas too. Okay, where can I apply this example in your essay? Or where can I use this context in ethics paper? Now in the field of biotechnology, there is a concept called 3-parent baby. Have you heard of it? It's there in prelims also. I think last year prelims only, this year prelims there is a question. So, but different term is used. So, coming to bring it to your understanding towards the part of ethics syllabus, it is somewhat moving towards the direction of having an artificial birth taking place. There is no natural process involved. There is some kind of a tweaking that we are doing within the natural process, not completely though in this 3-parent baby. And of course, understand how you can apply these things in your optional subjects. How many of you are having anthropology as optional? Everyone? Try to make use of them. I'll tell you the connect whenever the relative topic comes up. Okay, it won't be good for me to introduce all the topics now and here itself and make you a little confused here. It will be overwhelming for you also. Year-wise breakup of the questions that are being appeared in prelims. Recent years I'm not taking since 2010, 1998, no. Recent trend is quite good enough to understand. Looking at this number, what do you expect the number of questions would be from 2023 in 2023? You'll average now, open your phones, add them up. What if UPSC asks 0 questions from this field? It can happen. So understanding this thing, what it is around somewhere, some 12%, if I say 12% of 100 questions means 12 questions, average, on an average if I say. Looking at the lower side also, if 0 questions are coming in the next year, we should be prepared for that also, right? But it is not necessary that 0 questions will be coming. Some questions will be coming from UPSC because of the fast growing nature of technologies, fast growing nature of this world. Science and tech cannot be neglected by UPSC, right? You'll at least get 5 questions, at least. Now tell me how many marks can we score from here? The answer for this won't be any particular number. It depends upon how you prepare. Because certainly some people might like to study polity more or history more, but you should never neglect science and tech as a subject because of this weightage that UPSC is putting on these areas. That is why in recent times science and tech has become extremely important, and it is not like these basics are little same everywhere. For example, there is new phenomena that is being discovered now and then. Take the case of gravitational lensing only. Gravitational force is one of the fundamental forces that we have. What are the other 3? I said the number. I don't think you guys would be remembering the number of forces that are acting in our universe. How many forces are there? 3 or 4? Yes. Strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force, electromagnetic force and gravitational force. But all these forces are driven by some of the fundamental particles. Till now, we haven't discovered the fundamental particle which is driving the gravitational force. That is why this halchal with regard to gravitational waves, having these large experimental things, LISA. Is it LISA? Yeah, LISA in outer space they are planning it. And LIGO project at the ground level. As and when these new phenomena are occurring, UPSC wants you to know them. That is how the Web 3.0 is also about. As and when this news article is coming up, they want you to know. But certainly there are also certain aspects which are repeatedly being asked, especially in the field of biotechnology. The syllabus with related to biotechnology when we deal with it is little vast. But once you cover it, it is the most easiest area within science and tech to get good marks. Here then, when we talk of biotechnology, anyway, we'll come to that later. Let's see a few questions here. Anyway, this question I have already asked. So consider the following statements. Web 3.0 technology enables people to control their own data. In Web 3.0 world, there can be blockchain based social networks. Web 3.0 is operated by users collectively rather than a corporation. Mostly 1 and 2 are quite understandable. But until unless I have spoken that there won't be any middlemen, till now you wouldn't have answered the third. There could be certainly some kind of confusion whether third statement is right or wrong. So this was application part actually. These are the basics, what characteristics of Web 3.0, first 2 statements. How it is actually changing the world of internet is what third statement is all talking about. The answer is anyway D. Right. Let's see another question. With reference to software as a service, consider the following statements. SaaS buyers can customize the user interface and can change data fields. SaaS users can access their data through their mobile devices. Outlook, Hotmail, Yahoo Mail are forms of SaaS. Now tell me what is software as a service. If you know what is software as a service, probably you would have cleared. This is the recent trend that is observed in the field of software industries. Previously, software used to be sold as a product. Now software is being sold as a service. What do you mean by software as a product? Can you give an example? Software as a product. Windows operating systems. We used to, buy CDs, and then as a product we used to buy it and then install them. Or else your antivirus. Nowadays they are being served as a service. You not go to any kind of shop and get this done. Another example of software as a service would be your OTT platforms. Now remember, now consider this. Now read the statements and try to solve it. I've given an example. See, Windows 10 or Windows 11, will you be able to customize them? No, right? Whatever the product is there, you're using them. But even then, as a software as a service, understand, can you customize them or not? No? Yes. User interface can't be changed. Simple. You must have heard this term user interface somewhere or the other. No, I can't teach you what is user interface now. The way you look at the mobile, Apple looks differently than your Android. That is user interface. That you cannot change. On outside you can put up a box saying that your phone is also Apple, though carrying some other phone. Right? That is why. Oh, answer should be B, I guess. We'll check it one more time. See, these are characteristics. It's not easy for you guys to remember these things. You need to revise them very quickly. Even looking at me, remembering the areas of biotechnology, science and tech, remembering areas of computers in the field of IT. I haven't been in the IT field too. But even then we need to have the knowledge of what these things are all about. Right? Let's move on to the next question. I think this is easy. What is the answer? Quantum computing. What are the two properties that are involved in quantum computing? That could be the future question that UPSC asks. It has started asking prelims questions related to quantum computing. Superimposing, yes. There UPSC will start asking questions next year. Okay, it has started asking some few basics. It will ask next time. Alright, people are ready with quantum computing. They have prepared well. Now I'll ask little more difficult one. That is how nanotechnology questions are also gradually asked by UPSC. Otherwise, you can ask with related to what is the government's program related to quantum computing. There is a mission that government launched 2 years back in its budget, allocated 800 or 8,000 crores. Again, that number can be asked in your prelims. See, software as a service depends on these cloud services only. It is a concept developed because of cloud computing. Okay.